I made a bet with my nemesis, Ito Makoto. Whoever could woo Lin Xiao, the owner of this convenience store, within 3 months would win the city's general distribution rights. If neither of us succeeded, we'd make another bet. Ito Makoto was a notorious playboy, with countless flings and hundreds, if not thousands, of girls he pursued. As for me, I only had one ex-girlfriend, Lu Ruyan, and she had left me. As for why I agreed to such an absurd bet, it was because Lin Xiao, the convenience store owner, was my type. I felt an instant connection just looking at her. And Ito Makoto agreed because Lin Xiao looked like a goddess, a delicate face, skin fairer than snow, gentle yet stunningly beautiful. Her nose bridge was high and straight, with soft lines, adding an air of cool nobility to her face. When the corners of her lips turned up slightly, faint dimples appeared, maximum sweetness. But she had a naturally cold disposition, indifferent to all eager confessions. Others saw her as ice-cold and unapproachable, the city's famous ice queen. Honestly, pursuing her wouldn't be easy. It was quite a challenge for me. "Boss, what's the most expensive thing in your store?" Lin Xiao didn't even look up, watching TV with a lollipop in her mouth. "The rent." I really wanted to just buy the store outright, but Ito Makoto and I had set 3 rules. Don't reveal our true identities, don't appear wealthy, and don't let the owner know our real intentions. Breaking any rule meant an automatic loss. This increased the difficulty, but it also made things fairer. Otherwise, just throwing money around. Most girls couldn't resist that. "Boss, a bottle of drink and a pack of cigarettes." As I spoke, I took out a piece of paper and a pen and placed them on the counter. Lin Xiao paused the TV, got up, gave me the items, and started looking for change. "I don't have small change. Can you just take a lollipop instead?" I looked around. No one else was in the store. "Anyone?" She nodded. "Yes." I stepped forward, took the one the boss was eating, and popped it into my own mouth. Brazenly, I added, "Always loved imported candy since I was a kid." She pointed a slender finger, as if talking to a child. "Starting with mommy?" I ran out blushing. Ito Makoto roared with laughter from his car nearby. For fairness, we had hacked into the store surveillance system, so we could see and hear everything happening on our phones. "Mr. Lou, how was the imported snack?" I shot him a glare. "None of your business. Your turn to show your skills." Ito Makoto grinned playfully. "Do you think I'm stupid?" She's furious right now. I'm not walking into that. I casually handed the drink and cigarettes to my driver. "I don't get it either. Such a beautiful girl, but that mouth." He leaned against the car window. "Now you see why she's hard to get, right? It's not too late to give up. No shame in it. Don't get cocky. It's not decided who will win yet. I just got told off. Maybe you'll get hit." He flicked his hair. "Then we'll just have to wait and see." In the afternoon, I was at the office when Ito Makoto sent a message. "Attention, I'm starting now." I opened the app and saw Ito Makoto walk into the convenience store, his hair styled with what looked like 2 pounds of wax. He picked up a bottle of soda and went to the counter. "Hey, beautiful, how much is this?" 3 yuan. Ito Makoto took out his phone. "Does your store offer home delivery? I live nearby." Lin Xiao looked up at Ito Makoto. "Are you okay? You want 1 bottle of soda delivered?" Ito Makoto quickly waved his hands. "Boss, you misunderstood. I mean, if I buy a lot of things, can you deliver?" Lin Xiao replied flatly. "Use a delivery runner. Our store doesn't offer that service." Ito Makoto persisted. "I don't have cash on me. Can I pay by phone?" "The QR code is here." Ito Makoto scanned it. "Oh, sorry, I don't have enough funds. Can I add you as a friend and send you a red envelope later?" Lin Xiao leaned on the cash register with both hands. "What do you think?" Ito Makoto ran a hand through his hair. "A beauty like you wouldn't refuse such a simple request, would she? Men like you? I see 80, if not 100, a day. You're the first one to use such a lame excuse to ask for my contact." On the other end of the phone, I laughed so hard, I slapped the table. I texted Ito Makoto back. "Mr. Big Shot Lover Boy, is that all you've got?" 10 minutes or so later, he replied, "If you think you can do better, you try it." I couldn't do it alone, but I had a team. Surely, there was an expert in courtship among them. I had my secretary call everyone in the company who was married into the conference room for a meeting. The topic of today's meeting is how to successfully pursue a woman within 3 months. Everyone looked at each other, unsure why I'd set this topic. I sat in my chair, resting my chin on my clasped hands. Everyone, please share your opinions freely. Whoever has the best method gets a double year-end bonus. If their method helps me succeed, they get promoted 1 level. Everyone started whispering amongst themselves. I directly called on someone. Manager Lou, I hear you and your wife have been married for 7 or 8 years and are still very much in love. How did you win her over? Manager Lou scratched his head sheepishly. I hope so, Lou, and everyone won't laugh, but my wife and I had an arranged childhood betrothal. We were childhood sweethearts, together since we were very young. I cleared my throat. There's nothing to laugh about that. Everyone else is probably envious. Manager Wong, why don't you share? Your wife wasn't a childhood betrothal too, was she? No, not that. But we met on a blind date. We hit it off, so things naturally fell into place. I took a sip of coffee. Did anyone here pursue their partner themselves? One employee stood up. CEO Lou, my wife, and I were university classmates. I pursued her. I gestured for him to sit. Sit down and talk, no rush. This is a workshop. No need to be so formal. Tell us your method. I just engineered all sorts of chance encounters, then got her contact information. I'd ask her out for bubble tea or a movie whenever possible, and things progressed naturally from there. Chance encounters? Lin Xiao is always minding her shop. Chance encounters aren't very realistic. I looked at the employees present. Anyone else have experience pursuing women? Please share. Those who were pursued can also share. Why did you agree to the pursuit? Just then, a female employee spoke up. CEO Lou, I agreed to my husband's pursuit because he helped me get rid of a man who was harassing me. After that, I agreed. Staging a hero saves the damsel scenario. That needs careful planning. It might just work. Any more? Who else has experience to share? Another employee spoke. We don't know which family's young lady CEO Lou is trying to pursue. Different women require different approaches. Makes sense. Know your target, know yourself, and you will always succeed. So I told everyone about Lin Xiao's situation. Everyone fell silent simultaneously. I looked at them. What? Is this girl difficult to pursue? A department manager asked. CEO Lou, someone of your status pursuing the owner of a small convenience store? Isn't that a bit? I finished his sentence for him. Mismatched, is that it? Everyone nodded. My expression soured. That's not your concern. I brought you here to come up with ideas. Another female employee said, then just confess your feelings directly. With your status, what woman wouldn't jump at the chance and hold on tight? Why would you even need to pursue her personally? I frowned, speaking to her, but also addressing the others. This isn't the time for flattery. Just think of me as an ordinary working guy trying to pursue a girl. If you have ideas, suggest them. Don't bring all that other nonsense into it. For now, let's focus on making a deeper impression on her. Thinking about what happened this morning, I added, a good impression. Since she runs a convenience store, just buy out her entire stock. That'll definitely leave a deep impression. I immediately rejected that. I just said act like a normal person. What normal person just buys out an entire store? Then just go there often to make a deeper impression. I took a sip of coffee and asked my secretary to give me a hot one. Within 3 months. By the time the impression is deepened, the deadline will be up. The group was puzzled. Why within 3 months? I explained the bet with Ito Makoto. The group grew serious. This was about the general distribution rights, yet it was being decided by a bet. It seemed too much like child's play. Manager Wong said, why don't we secretly send someone to contact her privately and just get her to agree? I took the coffee. Business is built on integrity. Being a person requires character, and betting requires sportsmanship. Cutting corners might be acceptable sometimes, but not in this matter. Manager Wong blushed. My mistake, my mistake. I looked at everyone disappointedly. You all fancy yourselves business elites, yet you can't even handle one woman? Isn't that humiliating? Everyone lowered their heads. One person looked up. CEO Lou, why don't you try playing pitiful? I've seen it in idol dramas. Women are easily moved by pity. Maybe she'll agree. I mulled it over. It's worth a try. Is there a specific plan? The next morning, I got out of the car wearing ragged clothes and holding a sign saying, begging for 5 yuan for food. I ran into Ito Makoto, equally disheveled and carrying a guitar. We'd surprisingly arrived at the same idea. Hatched by the same mastermind, perhaps? We both clasped our fists toward each other. A pleasure to meet you. I've heard so much about you. After you, Ito Makoto went straight into the store and started playing and singing to Lin Xiao. Golden winds bring good fortune. May the boss make a fortune. I congratulate the beautiful boss on her booming business. Lin Xiao took out 10 yuan for him, but he refused it, instead holding up a QR code hanging around his neck. Boss, add me as a friend. I saw the guitar fly out. Ito Makoto walked out dejectedly, clutching his head. Can we talk nicely? Why get physical? Lin Xiao stood at the door, hands on her hips, shouting, Come back again and I'll call the police. I quickly turned away so she wouldn't see me and tossed the sign aside. I walked in. Boss, are you hiring? Lin Xiao's pretty face hardened. Not hiring, not hiring. Even if I were, I wouldn't hire a man. Seeing she was about to drive me away too, I quickly said, I can work the night shift. It can't be convenient for a girl to be here alone late at night, right? It's freezing cold. I just want a warm place to stay. Pay me whatever you think is fair. Just cover breakfast. Her expression softened. Are you facing difficulties? If you're here at night, what about during the day? I put on my most pitiful expression. It's not as cold during the day. I can manage in shopping malls or parks. Lin Xiao nodded. 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. 3,000 a month. You can eat anything from the shelves. If that's okay, you can stay. That's perfect. My delight was genuine, and she clearly saw it. What's your name? I handed her my ID. She took it, looked at it, then compared it to me. Lu Jinsheng. Good name. I accepted the bread and water Lin Xiao gave me with profuse thanks, making sure she saw how hungry I was, polishing it off in one go. Back in the car, I gave Ito Makoto a victory sign. He scoffed dismissively. Feeling pleased with yourself? You come late, she leaves early. You'll barely cross paths. This strategy completely dead-ends you. Whichever genius gave you this terrible idea, I suggest you go back and fire them immediately. I gave him the internationally recognized gesture of friendship. Still better than your guitar-strumming Beatles act. Then I told the driver to head back to the company and call the employees together for another meeting. I've successfully started the job. I'm a night clerk now. Next, it's time for everyone to put our heads together. I looked at everyone expectantly. Manager Lu spoke first. I think the way to make a strong impression on her is for the nighttime sales to be double, even triple, the daytime sales. Then she'll think this guy is really capable and will definitely take a liking to you. Plus, this doesn't violate those conditions we agreed on. I nodded, satisfied. That idea was indeed good. Anything else? Manager Wong said, How about something more extreme? We get someone to pretend to kidnap you. Let her play the heroine saving the hero. After going through life and death together like that, you two will instantly fall in love and pledge yourselves to each other. I was completely speechless. That's way too crazy. Kidnappers don't go after rich people. They'd kidnap a clerk like me? What if she calls the police? Do you really think this is some romance novel where law enforcement is invisible? Let's try Manager Lu's idea first. Have the staff think of other methods and post them all in the group chat we just created. And it must be kept secret. Ito Makoto can't know. Around 7 in the evening, I arrived at the convenience store. Lin Xiao showed me how to use the equipment here and gave me her contact details, telling me to contact her if there was anything I didn't understand. After making sure I was familiar with everything, she left. Watching her retreating figure, I thought to myself, if only I could walk her home. Ito Makoto sent a message. My chance has come again, I knew it. He wasn't someone who gives up easily, and I could only wait in the store. Just then, a customer came in. Boss, I want to buy cigarettes. I explained to him, I'm not the boss, I'm the clerk. He looked around, lowered his voice. Boss, Manager Wong sent me. Understood. Nothing under 15. Pay by card. Leave. Before long, another person came in. Boss, cigarettes. I said irritably. Who sent you to buy cigarettes? Can't you buy something else? The man was taken aback. I'm an adult. It's not illegal to buy cigarettes. Besides, isn't it my freedom to buy what I want? Are you trying to force a sale or something? Are you selling the cigarettes or not? If not, I'm leaving. A misunderstanding. So, a real customer. Sorry, what brand do you want? He named a brand. I turned around. None left. Sorry, sold out. He left, muttering curses. I quickly contacted Lin Xiao. Boss, the cigarettes are sold out. Do you have any more stock there? Which cigarettes are sold out? How many does the customer want? I answered truthfully. Everything above 15 is gone. A customer just came wanting to buy cigarettes, and I couldn't sell him any. There was silence on the other end for a moment. Wait a bit. I hung up the phone. A young man walked in. Boss, what's the most expensive thing you have here? This line sounded familiar. Just tell me what you want. Doesn't matter. Just prepare 30,000 yuan worth of goods for me. Saying this, he took out his phone and scanned the QR code. Soon, Lin Xiao's call came through. What did you sell now? How come someone suddenly paid 30,000? The customer wants all the cigarettes and alcohol in our store, plus some snacks. Hanging up, I looked at him. How did you get here? The young man pointed outside. Walked. I live nearby. You can't possibly carry all that yourself. We don't do home delivery here. He nodded. Then just prepare what I can carry by myself. Just then, Lin Xiao pushed the door open and called me over to help unload the van. Looking at the van full of goods, I asked, Boss, how much can we sell this whole van load for? Lin Xiao took out her phone and a list. Probably over 40,000. What? I went back into the convenience store. That van outside, I said to the young man, 50,000 worth of goods. He took out his phone, scanned the code to pay. Another 20,000 for you. That should cover it, right? I explained the situation to Lin Xiao, and she had the driver follow the young man. She made me a cup of milk tea. You really are a money magnet. I was only gone for an hour, and what you sold is almost equal to my entire week's sales. I scratched my head. Just a coincidence. If I could really attract wealth, would I still be working as a sales clerk? Realization dawned on her. That's true. Anyway, regardless, you worked hard tonight. I've decided to rent an apartment for you nearby. I quickly waved my hands. That's too much trouble. No need to be so polite. I have a place to sleep. She started walking out, leaving no room for argument. Don't refuse. It's settled. I'll take you to see the apartment tomorrow. After Lin Xiao left, I sent a message in the group chat. That's it for tonight. Any more buying, and the cover will be blown. Almost immediately, all my colleagues replied. Received. In the early hours, besides the staff from the KTV next door buying snacks, there were some customers from the foot massage parlor buying cigarettes. The next day, I was yawning and drowsy when Lin Xiao walked in with breakfast. You must be exhausted after last night. It was okay. She had me eat breakfast and then told me to go with her. Besides Lin Xiao, there was a cashier and a stocker in the store. As soon as the stocker arrived, he complained, Why is everything out of stock? Did someone clear the place out last night? Lin Xiao took me to the residential complex behind the convenience store. She swiped an access card and then handed it to me. I looked around the complex. It was an old one built 20 or 30 years ago, the kind known as old-style apartment blocks. The wiring was messy, the corridor was dim, and there was a faint sound of dripping water. It felt like stepping into a spider's cave. While going up the stairs, Lin Xiao twisted her ankle and fell into my arms. My reflexes were quick. I wrapped an arm around her waist and held her steady. Lin Xiao let out a soft cry, her brow furrowed tightly, and her eyes instantly filled with tears. Her right foot hovered in the air. Clearly, the sprain was serious. Are you all right? She blushed and looked down. Thank you, I'm fine. Limping, she led me into the apartment. I knelt down to examine her injury. She tried to pull her leg back, wanting to stop me from looking, but I had already grasped her calf. Her ankle had rapidly swollen and turned red, like a ripe tomato. I carefully removed her high heel and asked softly, Can you move it? Lin Xiao bit her lip and shook her head, but tears streamed down uncontrollably, landing hot on the back of my hand. A beauty in tears tugs at the heartstrings. Let me take you to the hospital. Without waiting for an answer, I swept her up horizontally in my arms and rushed downstairs. She wrapped her arms around my neck, her body trembling slightly, her warm breath tickling my ear. Lu Jinsheng, thank you. You don't need to take me to the hospital. Just find a clinic for some simple treatment. I looked down at her. Our eyes met. Her eyes were misty with tears, yet they couldn't hide a hint of some other emotion. My heart inexplicably fluttered. How can that be okay? You got hurt because of me, after all. If it leaves a lasting problem, I'll feel uneasy for the rest of my life. I hailed a taxi to the hospital, registering, getting x-rays, picking up medicine. I rushed around handling everything, not daring stop for a moment. Lin Xiao sat on the bench, watching me bustle about, and said softly, "Take a break. You've really worked hard today." I shook my head and joked with a smile. "It's nothing, it's what I should do. If something happened to you, who would pay my salary?" She blushed and muttered, "You always have an answer." Fortunately, the examination showed nothing serious, just a minor sprain. The doctor gave some instructions and prescribed medication to improve blood circulation and reduce swelling. I carried Lin Xiao back to the store, gently placed her on a chair, helped prop her foot up, poured a glass of water, and brought the medicine to her lips. "Here, be good and take your medicine. You'll get better faster." Then I opened the safflower oil, poured some onto my hands, rubbed them together to warm it, and began massaging her foot. As Lin Xiao tilted her head back to take the medicine, I caught sight of the delicate skin on her neck. My ears flushed unconsciously, and I quickly lowered my head. The atmosphere grew somewhat intimate for a moment. She was the first to break the silence. "Thank you so much for today. You must be tired after the whole evening, and you were running around taking care of me." I lowered my voice. "No need to be polite. I'm your employee. You're my boss. If it weren't for finding me a place to live, this wouldn't have happened." In the following days, I went to Lin Xiao's place every day after work, helping her cook, change her dressings, and run errands. Over time, we grew closer, often chatting for hours about everything under the sun, and our hearts drew nearer. Ito Makoto saw this, but couldn't do anything about it for the moment. One quiet night, she didn't go home. We sat side by side behind the counter. Lin Xiao turned to look at me, her gaze intense. "Lu Jinsheng, actually, from the moment you held me, I felt you were different from others." My heart suddenly raced, my atoms apple bobbed as I swallowed hard. I reached out and took her hand. "Xiao, me too. I want to take care of you always from now on. Never let you get hurt again. Be my girlfriend, okay?" Just as she was about to nod, Ito Makoto walked in. "Lu Jinsheng, look who's here." As he spoke, a girl in a white gauze dress entered, and the scent of orchids instantly filled the convenience store. I shot to my feet. "Lu Ruyan." Ito Makoto wore a half-smile. "She insisted on finding you. I had no choice but to bring her here." Lu Ruyan looked at me, choking back tears. "Jinsheng, I've missed you so much." I subconsciously glanced at Lin Xiao. She had reverted to her usual ice queen demeanor, her face expressionless. "Xiao." Lin Xiao looked at me. "If you have things to discuss, take it outside. Don't affect my business in my store." "Okay, no problem." Ito Makoto pulled me toward the outside. Lu Ruyan threw herself into my arms, her tears soaking my clothes. Outside the convenience store, I looked at Ito Makoto. "Tell me, did you do this on purpose?" Ito Makoto looked aggrieved. "You wrong me. Heavens above. I swear I don't even know your ex-girlfriend. How could I possibly have her contact information? She came looking for me. Ask her if you don't believe me." Lu Ruyan hugged my waist tightly. "Jinsheng, I never want to leave you again. Can we start over, please?" I looked back into the convenience store, but Lin Xiao was nowhere to be seen. I patted Lu Ruyan on the back. "Can you let go first?" Lu Ruyan shook her head, tightening her grip. "No. If I let go, you'll definitely leave." Speechless, I looked at Ito Makoto. "So how do we resolve this?" Ito Makoto put his hands in his pockets and shrugged. "You figured out. Anyway, the 3 months aren't up yet. I still have a chance." I tried to push Lu Ruyan away. "Lu Ruyan, let go first. I have something to say. Just say what you need to say. I'm not letting go anyway." I started to get angry. "How can I say it if you don't let go?" She sensed my anger, let go, and looked up at me. I stepped back a few paces. "We already broke up, and you were the one who initiated it. Now I want to get back together, just like that? What do you take me for?" Lu Ruyan shook her head. "No, that was just said in anger. It didn't count. You're the only one in my heart." I spread my hands. "Whatever. I'm telling you, I already have a girlfriend. Stop bothering me." Lu Ruyan pointed at the convenience store. "Her, right? The owner of a little sundry shop? How is she good enough for?" I snapped sharply. "Lu Ruyan, watch your words. Whether she's good enough or not is none of your business." With that, I turned and went straight back into the convenience store. Lin Xiao looked at me, her tone icy. "What are you doing back here?" I put on an aggrieved expression. "My shift isn't over. Where else would I go if I didn't come back?" Lin Xiao snorted. "What's the deal with that woman?" Ex-girlfriend. Lin Xiao pointed outside. And that man? So you knew each other all along. I figured it out. You, and he showed up at my shop on the same day. What exactly are you plotting? I lower my head. If I told the truth about the bet, I would lose. If I didn't say anything, Lin Xiao wouldn't let me off easily either. Lu Jincheng, you're fired. My head snapped up. No. Where will I go? Wherever. What it got to do with me? I grew anxious. Weren't things fine just a moment ago? You were about to agree to be my girlfriend. Her brow furrowed slightly. Just now? I don't recall agreeing to be your girlfriend. If you keep pestering me, I'll call the police. I haven't done anything wrong. Don't you think you're being cruel to me? She slammed her hand on the table. Cruel? You're just a clerk I hired. I don't need you anymore. So, can I fire you? You, on the other hand, I feel like you're definitely hiding something from me. I was indeed hiding something from her. As long as you become my girlfriend, I'm willing to tell you everything. Okay. Are you trying to bargain with me? Right now, I just want you to leave. Dejected, I walked out. Lu Rian and Ito Makoto were still outside. I knew they must have seen everything that just happened via the surveillance monitors. I could tell from their expressions. Ito Makoto gave a smirk that didn't reach his eyes. Messed up the act, didn't you? I shoved them hard. It's all your fault. If you hadn't brought Lu Ruyan here, she was about to agree. Ito Makoto steadied himself and swung a fist. What's it got to do with me? It's your own incompetence. Have you ever seen any of my ex-girlfriends cause trouble like this? His fist hit my cheek. I swung back, punching him on the chin. Lu Rian cried out from the side. Stop fighting. Please stop fighting. Someone must have called the police, because we were both taken away. After a lecture, lawyers from both our families handled the follow-up matters. Lu Ruyan gently touched my face, full of concern. Does it hurt? I pushed her hand away, my face cold. Don't make me lose the last shred of goodwill I have left for you. Lu Ruyan stared at me, stunned and incredulous. You're treating me like this just because of that woman? It has nothing to do with her. Don't you remember why we broke up? She seemed to recall something and was suddenly at a loss for words. Back then, we were deeply in love, huddled in our tiny rented room. Even sharing a bowl of instant noodles felt wonderful. On rainy days, we shared an umbrella, her head resting on my shoulder as she listened to me talk about interesting things from work. Those mundane, daily moments were what I once believed would be my forever. The change came without warning. On an ordinary weekend, she asked to meet me at a cafe. I teased her about looking pale, but she didn't respond with her usual playful annoyance. After a long silence, she spoke. Jin Cheng, let's break up. Just those few simple words felt like a sharp blade piercing straight through my heart, instantly shredding all those sweet, certain, hopeful years into pieces. After another long silence, I asked the reason. Why? Can you give me a reasonable explanation? Ruyan's eyes reddened, tears welling up. Her voice, tinged with choked sobs and exhaustion, slowly said, Jin Cheng, this wasn't an impulsive decision. You pour all your energy into work, dragging your exhausted body home in the early hours. How long has it been since we've even had a proper conversation? Last time, on my birthday, I waited for you excitedly until late at night, only to be told you forgot. She raised her hand to wipe away tears, took a deep breath, and continued. In the trivialities of life, I have to worry about everything. When I call you, it's always busy. It's not that I can't endure hardship, but the day after day loneliness and helplessness have worn away all my love. I knew I had neglected her recently, but how could one possibly have both a career and love? As for the future, we planned it countless times, but we've always been stuck in the same place. I long for love, but right now, the pressure you're under is too immense. You simply have no time or energy for me. I'm still young. I don't want to experience the kind of life where you can see the end from the beginning just yet. Most importantly, I've been examining myself recently and found that the affection that once filled my heart and eyes has, at some point, faded beyond recognition. The passion has faded, leaving only weariness in my heart. Rather than growing to resent each other in the future, it's better we give each other a dignified way out now. Every word she spoke was like a heavy hammer blow landing on my heart, striking me so hard my legs went weak and I could barely stand. In that moment, I clearly felt the fortress of love we had so carefully constructed collapse with a roar, burying me under the rubble and shattered tiles, suffocating me. After the breakup, my days descended into chaos. I tried to let go, deleting old photos, throwing away our couple's items, and traveling alone. By throwing myself wholeheartedly into work, I finally achieved some small success, enough for my elders to see my potential. That's why I was recently transferred here, to give me an opportunity to gain more experience. I went back to the company and had my secretary gather the people from the group chat again. I briefly explained the situation and asked them if they had any ideas to salvage it. Just then, a female employee asked me, "Mr. Lou, may I ask you a question?" I looked at her curiously. "What is it? Do you genuinely like this young woman, or is this just about winning the bet?" I blurted out, "Of course, I genuinely like her. Otherwise, why would I make such an absurd bet? Do you have a good idea?" The female employee glanced around. "I think we need to think outside the box. If you can't win over the young woman, win over her parents. You know how mothers-in-law tend to grow fonder of their sons-in-law the more they see them. If her parents give their nod, and the two of you don't dislike each other, the success rate is over 70%. I slammed my hand on the table and shot up, thrilled. "Whether this works or not, you're getting a promotion and a raise. It's decided. A whole bunch of guys and not a single useful idea among them. It really takes a woman to understand another woman." I had them find information on Lin Xiao's parents, and that's when I learned her father was hospitalized due to illness, with her mother staying by his side. This was the perfect opportunity to make a good impression. I appeared at the hospital room laden with gifts. Annie looked at me. "You are?" I quickly introduced myself. "I'm friends with Lin Xiao. I heard her father was ill, so I came to see if there's anything I can help with." In the hospital bed, Uncle Lin had a ruddy complexion and seemed full of spirit, not looking like a patient at all. However, an 4-needle was still inserted in his arm, the fluid dripping slowly, drop by drop. He called me over, his voice booming like a bell. "Thank you, young man. That girl, Lin Xiao, her own father is hospitalized, and she doesn't even come to visit." His words were filled with loneliness and helplessness, betraying his longing for his daughter. I quickly walked a few steps to the bedside, gently placed the items I was carrying on the cabinet, pulled over a chair, and sat down. Leaning forward slightly, I said earnestly, "Well, I'm here now. Me coming is the same as her coming." I tried hard to make my voice sound lighter, attempting to dispel the oppressive atmosphere in the hospital room. Uncle Lin's previously dim eyes seemed to light up with a faint glimmer. He propped himself up with some effort, leaning against the headboard. His gaze was searching as he sized me up carefully. After hesitating for a moment, he asked, "Are you her boyfriend?" In his gaze, there was a hint of hope, tinged with a little surprise. Struck by the direct question, my face flushed red instantly, the heat spreading rapidly to my ears. My fingers unconsciously twisted the hem of my shirt as I stammered, "I'm currently pursuing her." Having said that, I discreetly glanced up and caught sight of the corners of Uncle Lin's mouth turning up slightly, the amusement in his eyes growing stronger. I changed the subject. "Uncle, what health issue brought you to the hospital?" Felt it was too embarrassing, so I came to the hospital to hide out for a couple of days. I was completely confused, so Lin Xiao's mother explained, "It's all because of Lin Xiao. She's getting on in years, but still hasn't found a partner. The neighbors keep trying to introduce people to her, but she refuses to meet them. When they bring someone right to our door, she greets them with sarcasm, and twice she even got physical. Not only did the matchmaking attempts fail, but she also ended up offending the neighbors." I ventured to ask, "So what's the reason? Is it because she already likes someone?" The auntie shook her head. "She's never mentioned anyone, and we've never seen her bring anyone home. Otherwise, why would we be going through all this trouble? A daughter eventually needs to start her own family." Just then, a doctor walked in. "Who are the family members of the patient in bed 7? The auntie went over. "I am." "What is it, doctor?" The doctor looked at me. "And who are you?" I quickly replied, "The caregiver." "Where are your children?" "Have them come see me." I had a bad feeling in my gut because I'd been through this before. Usually, when they ask to see the children, it means there's something they can't tell the elderly patient directly. Lin Xiao arrived quickly. She was surprised to see me too. "What are you doing here? Who asked you to come?" I pointed towards the door. Now isn't the time for that question. You should go see the doctor first and find out what's going on. Lin Xiao went into the doctor's office, and I waited by the door. About 10 minutes later, she came out looking distraught and lost. Seeing her unsteady gait, I hurried over to support her. Are you okay? She suddenly threw herself into my arms and started crying. I quickly tried to comfort her. It turned out her father had undergone a checkup during his hospital stay. They found a nodule on his lung, larger than 12 millimeters, lobulated with spiculation and ground glass opacity, confirming it was a malignant tumor. The main issue was that her father was old, making the risk of surgery high and the chance of success low. Lin Xiao was panicking, unsure what to do. Transfer him to another hospital. This hospital doesn't have adequate medical resources. I know a hospital that specializes in treating this condition. She pulled away from my embrace, looked at me, and said, "Thank you. If you hadn't been here, I really don't know what I would have done." I made a phone call, dispatched an ambulance, and arranged a transfer. Uncle Lin was puzzled. What did the doctor say? Why do we need to change hospitals? Lin Xiao tightly gripped my sleeve, saying nothing. I smiled and said, "The doctor said there's a small nodule on your lung. This hospital insists on treating it as major surgery. Luckily, I have contacts at another hospital. They said it's just a minor procedure. It'll be over quickly. That's why we arranged the transfer." Uncle Lin nodded and said to the auntie, "These days, you really can't get by without connections." He didn't look particularly sick, thought the ambulance was too expensive, and insisted on taking a car instead. I quickly said, "I have a card, it can be reimbursed. Besides, sitting isn't as comfortable as lying down. Uncle, you and Annie go first. We'll follow right after finishing the paperwork." Everything's arranged with the hospital. As Uncle Lin left, he even greeted the other patients and their families in the ward, but Lin Xiao's mind was in turmoil. How much will the treatment cost? I shook my head, I don't know. It probably won't be too expensive. We'll see what the doctor says when we get there. The attending physician also shook his head after reviewing the test results. There are indeed risks. The family needs to be mentally prepared. But all surgeries carry risks. I performed this type of surgery many times, and the survival rate is quite high. The key is consistent follow-up treatment. Lin Xiao grabbed my arm. So how much money will it require? It depends on the treatment you choose. Surgery is definitely necessary. If you opt for traditional open surgery, preparing 60 to 70,000 yuan should be about right. If you choose the latest thoracoscopic minimally invasive surgery, it might cost double that. Post-surgery chemotherapy costs also need to be factored in. Lin Xiao thanked the doctor and walked out in a daze. I sat down. "Dr. Jia, please do your best. This is my future father-in-law." Dr. Jia nodded with a smile. "Don't worry. Since he's CEO Lu's father-in-law, I'll definitely do my utmost. Saying otherwise would be distant. So I won't stand on ceremony. Saying any more would just be pretentious." I came out of the office but didn't see Lin Xiao. She wasn't in the hospital room either. Finally, I found her in the fire escape stairwell. Lin Xiao was squatting on the ground. "Lend me 50,000. I'll pay you back with interest by the end of the year." She hung up and made another call. "If I weren't desperate, I wouldn't be calling you to ask this." Hanging up, she dialed again. "Uncle, I know things aren't easy for anyone, but that's my..." She kept dialing. "Is this the agency? I have a convenience store I want to sublet. Business is really good, seriously. If you don't believe me, just go take a look. Including rent and inventory, it's about..." I snatched the phone right out of her hand and hung up. "With the convenience store, you still have income. Without it, what will you do?" Tears sprang into Lin Xiao's eyes. "Then what do you think I should do?" "Don't worry about the money. I'll take care of it." She looked down. "Such a huge amount of money. How can you solve it?" I took out a bank card. "This card here is enough to solve all your current problems." Applause echoed in the stairwell. Ito Makoto walked up. "I was waiting for you to say that. Lu Jinsheng, you've lost." I roared at him. "I don't have time for this. Get out of my sight immediately." He crossed his arms. "Honor your bet. You wouldn't be a sore loser, would you?" I pointed at him. "Fine. The general distributorship is yours. I won't fight you for it anymore. Can you leave now?" Ito Makoto reached out to pat Lin Xiao's shoulder, but I slapped his hand away. He chuckled. "Little sister Lin, congratulations. Lu Jinsheng is quite the big catch. Wish your father a speedy recovery. Bye-bye. I snapped irritably. Get lost. Now. Lin Xiao looked at me in disbelief. What did he mean by that? I gently moved her hand aside and placed the card in her palm. I'm the branch manager of a subsidiary under the Xinfeng Group. My annual income is 8 figures, so you don't need to worry about money. My voice was calm, yet held an undeniable force. She looked as if she'd heard an unbelievable fairy tale. Her eyes instantly widened, filled with disbelief. Her lips trembled slightly, and it took her a long moment to find her voice. So, what he said was all true. I froze on the spot, completely bewildered. I subconsciously scratched my head, then realized and replied, "What he said, isn't that exactly what I just told you? Which part was different?" My tone was tinged with exasperated amusement. I really couldn't understand how such a simple matter had become so complicated. Lin Xiao seemed drained of all strength. She slowly lowered her head, her hands nervously fidgeting with the hem of her clothes. She mumbled, "That Ito Makoto told me. You weren't an ordinary person, that you were pretending to be pitiful in front of me to gain sympathy, to get your hands on something. I don't really remember what." Towards the end, her voice grew quieter and quieter. Her brow furrowed slightly, her eyes filled with conflict. Seeing her like this, my heart clenched painfully. I took a deep breath, stepped forward, placed my hands on her shoulders, and looked directly in her eyes, speaking seriously and frankly. I'll be honest, he wasn't wrong. Initially, I approached you with an ulterior motive, but I genuinely developed feelings for you. My liking you is real, it can't be faked. You must have felt that sincerity. Lin Xiao didn't say anything, just tightly clutched the card I'd given her, her knuckles white from the force. After a long moment, she finally mumbled, "I will pay this money back to you." Anger flared in my chest. My brows knitted tightly together, and my voice rose involuntarily. "Are you rejecting me again? Are you really that unwilling to trust me?" She seemed startled, waving her hands frantically, her eyes reddening as she hastily explained. "No, it's not like that. I just don't want you to think I'm only with you for the money. I don't want our feelings to be tainted by money." Seeing her on the verge of tears, my heart instantly softened, all my anger vanishing completely. I stepped forward and gently pulled her into my arms, resting my chin lightly on the top of her head, murmuring softly, "You don't have to say anymore. I know, I understand. The surgery was very successful. I sent a message to Ito Makoto. Lin Xiao told me everything. You revealed my identity ahead of time. This round doesn't count." Ito Makoto replied immediately, "You say it doesn't count, so it doesn't count? If you can't handle losing, you shouldn't have agreed in the first place." I snorted and typed on my phone. "Then don't bring up any ground rules. Anyone can floor the gas pedal on a straightaway. Overtaking on the curves is real skill." These past few days, I personally took care of Uncle Lin. He was quite satisfied with me. Auntie saw it all too, and I could sense that approving gaze a mother-in-law gives her son-in-law. On the day of his discharge, Lin Xiao told her parents about our relationship. Her parents rolled their eyes. "Such a wonderful son-in-law. Did you need to tell us?" "Even if you didn't say anything, we had already accepted him in our hearts. Forget about admitting it now. If you dare not to admit it, you could just forget about acknowledging us as your parents." I took her to see my residence. She ran around in astonishment. "No wonder I couldn't find you several times when I looked for you. So you were secretly living in such a big place." I explained to her, "It's company property. I'm just staying here temporarily." Holding her, I asked, "You're about to become a rich wife. Are you still going to keep that convenience store open?" "Of course. Not only keep it open, but I'm going to turn it into a chain. Otherwise, how will I pay you back?" I rested my chin on her forehead. "Are you really planning to pay me back? We're getting married soon. Is there any difference between what's mine and what's yours? I don't want to be a daughter flower. My goal is to become a powerful businesswoman like your mother." My breath caught. 2 strong women in the family. My dream of a delicate wife. It seems it can only be a dream